Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
I know I speak for a lot of people in having beliefs in your mind where you say, I can't do that, or things that are holding you back. And sometimes you can identify them and sometimes you can't. Psych-K is something that can really be a game changer to move you along and heal you. And we've got somebody who is an instructor and a facilitator, and she's also a certified holistic nurse. And Mary Mazur is back with us. Hi, Mary. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful, Steve. Thank you for having me on this beautiful show.
Well, thank you. And Psych-K, I knew nothing about it until we got together last time. And if anybody missed that, why don't we just rewind a little bit and just explain real briefly what Psych-K is?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. So it's a very simple, effective, and powerful tool that anyone can use when they are ready to go within themselves and to change the programs that they've been running at the subconscious level of the mind that don't serve them very well anymore. And they're ready to make the new change. They're ready to turn in a more positive way within themselves, really to access the love of who they really are and to experience things in more beautiful ways. And if they feel blocked or restricted or small, are self-critical, Psych-K is a great tool that you could actually change those aspects within you that are running within you so that you can, enjoy your life more and experience the true beautiful essence that you really are.
And those changes actually come pretty fast, right?
They can, absolutely. It's very unique for each one that uses Psych-K, because each of us create our own design of our lives, right? If some people really like to be hard on themselves and like to self-sabotage themselves, so they might take them a little bit longer, because there are people like that too, right? And that's okay, because it can still work even with that aspect. Those that are the ones that are really ready for the changes, that's where they'll see the fastest changes being made, because they're actually offering a bit of surrender of their control of how they think they know things, or how they think they know how things are supposed to work. And then giving Psych-K a try, offering a new way that they may not understand real well, and yet they are ready for the changes. That's when the changes can really happen in quite quick ways. Mm-hmm.
So we talked about what Psych-K can do to change your life. How would you describe it, again, briefly? So we'll move on to other things connected to it. But how does it work? Is it a form of hypnotherapy? Is it, language programming, reprogramming your mind with your permission?
Yeah, thank you very much. So yeah, exactly. It's in its unique way. So it's not hypnotherapy, because you're working with your conscious mind. You're letting your conscious desires and your intention move you into making the changes you'd like to see in your life and within yourself, in your own personal world, and outside your life. So for example, if someone has a health issue, and I'll talk about my story, because that was my husband had the health issue. I've also had other clients that have had major health issues and have come because they're ready. They're tired of 4th stage cancer. How about that? That's a good one to be tired of.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And they actually do want to change it. They actually would like to live instead of die. Well, this is beautiful. And I have helped many people on that roller coaster ride that they chose to be on. And if they do so choose to, would love to change it, they can access the areas that are creating the situation of their experience and change it and put it into something new, so that they can be living in a healthy way, in a more loving way, more wanting to really be here way, instead of wanting to get the heck out of here way. Yeah, wow. That's what Psych-K helps you with. Mm-hmm.
So you said that, Mary, it works with your conscious mind, and so many healing modalities, energy connected modalities work with your subconscious, like hypnotherapy and some other things. How does that work? Because I was always a believer in, like, it's your subconscious. It's been programmed over the years, and that's what's driving you. And you really need to tap into that to get that to work. So how does this work?
Well, thank you. Well, actually with Psych-K, you work with all aspects of your mind. So that's the gift. You're not just working with the subconscious mind. Like hypnotherapy, they quiet your conscious mind so you can work with the subconscious. And it's beautiful. Hypnotherapy is really beautiful. And it's exactly when people use it, it's what they need.
Yep.
When you're ready for Psych-K, you're actually standing up a bit even stronger, I believe, where you're really just standing your self-responsibility to consciously choose what you want instead. How do you want your life to be in a new way, and claiming it? And then with your conscious mind, you're actually going to work with the highest aspect of yourself, because this is a spiritual process. You're going to be working with your superconscious mind. And that's the gateway you have to move through to make sure it's safe and appropriate for you to make this change. Because sometimes we want to make changes, but it may not be safe or appropriate for you at this time, which is kind of interesting. We have a lot of wants, like, oh, maybe someone totally wants to have, for example, the huge house and like the big flashy cars, and wants to have, let's say, huge success, so like the world knows them and that they like are super popular everywhere, right? Which is still a beautiful thing to have and be.
Sure.
And if you want to make that change at the subconscious level, where all the programs run and that 95% of your life run from, if your super conscious mind in the psyche process says, nope, that's not safe or appropriate for you to say, I live in that way at this moment, what you get to do is you get to actually come down to what you're truly desiring. What is all that bringing you? When you, let's say, for example, you did have all that and you really had that, what does that bring you? What are you really, really, really looking for? I live a life of fulfillment. I live a life of, being recognized that I'm important here. Now you're hitting on the really good stuff. And this is the gift that Psyche gets to do, help you do, is create those goals of what your heart's truly desiring, how you would love to be. And then you get to literally reprogram that in your subconscious mind. So that may be what your superconscious mind may give you permission for, is what you are really, really, truly accessing. So you literally change it. You change it, and then you'll begin to feel that way anyway, without actually having all that success, which is really hilarious. And then actually, once you feel that way, you might actually start creating that success naturally, because now it's coming from your heart center, from your fullness that you already are there, and you're going to actually go live that in a new way, instead of the lack of not having that, not feeling important, not being, recognized, or that kind of stuff. So where you're actually with Psyche, you actually flip everything to the opposite way. You're going to get to the source of things, the core of things, of what your really heart's desiring for you to be and live. Yeah,
you answered. I was just going to ask a question, but you totally answered it. And it's almost as if, I want that big house. I want that car. Yeah, I need that. That's going to make me happy. But then once you analyze everything using Psyche, maybe that's not what you want. It's not that, but that's not to say you can't have that. But to your point, maybe you just want to feel joy and happy, and you think it's in those materialistic things. Maybe not. But then once you're in that place of elation and you feel good about yourself and you feel good about your life, then you can work toward getting those things that you think could enhance your life.
Absolutely. Because it's beautiful. Big houses and boats and cars, they're beautiful things to play with here, to have creation with, to experience. They're actually really beautiful. But does it really matter? Is it really love? Is it really, really getting to the purpose? Most people would say no. Like on your deathbed, when you're in your last breath, this is one of the most important things you could ever do, is take yourself there. What would you wish you would have done in your life that mattered the most? I doubt it would be that you had a big house and fancy cars. That might be on there maybe later on, but oh no, I'm sure it's going to be about deep connection, about feeling loved, about sharing your gifts and your love, about making a difference so that this world can be a better place. We're going to get to the really, really good stuff, and this is where the gems are. And then sure, I love to travel. I would love to travel. It's great to have money to be able to travel with, right? If you don't have money, it's a little hard to travel.
Yeah, but there's things you can do too. And by the way, I don't know, 4 or 6 weeks ago, I just sold that house.
Oh, see, and you let it go.
And I'll tell you this. I had I don't know, sort of call it an epiphany, like 2 years ago and change. And you never know what's going to happen in your life. But something like, I was mowing the lawn, dropped out of the sky, and I was like, I don't need this anymore. I don't need to do this. I came, I conquered, I did it, proved that I could do it. And now I don't miss it. And as a matter of fact, not getting personal here, it's not about me, but I'm just sharing, maybe people can relate to it. I drove down my street the other day with my daughter, and I said, who lives with me? And I said, does this feel awkward to you? And she's like, it really does. And I was like, I don't want to really be here. And then she said, you know what? I like where we are now. And I said, yeah, you like your room, right? She goes, yeah, I really do. A lot better. And it was like, okay, that's it. Close that door. Move on to the next one. Yeah.
Wow. Isn't that so beautiful? Well, and if I can offer, Steve, we have shifted into the Aquarian age. We're no longer in the Pisces age. Whether as little people know about astrology or not,
Doesn't
Yeah.
mean anything to me.
Well, I know. It's
Except
okay.
the song that came out in the, early 70s, late 60s, Age of Aquarius.
Sure. Exactly. Well, and because Pisces age is about illusion. It's about the 2000 years of illusion. We were in a distorted time. And that was where what we saw and how we felt was all from the programs we got from other people, from society, from our religions, from our governments, from our schools. And then that's what we ran off of. And that's how we lived our lives. Those days are done. And this is where Psyche comes in at such a sweet spot because it helps you change those in a lot faster way than typically having to grudge through just consciously changing those. And so, because now with the 21st century, we are in the Aquarian age, which is the air age. So we're no longer in the water. We're no longer upside down or in the illusion distortion time. It was just the experience we all had. We now are in the air age, which means we have come from upside down to right side up. And which means where we get our information is meant to come from direct connection from source consciousness, whatever that means for people. It can mean whatever it means for you. It's just your intuition. You can call it your intuition. You're just your knowing. It's like you and your daughter felt. You knew. You probably thanked it for having the beautiful home that you did at that time, and it's gorgeous and it was adorable. And then when you're done, and it's so nice to let it go. And when you do, and you can recognize that, it's you actually are moving into alignment of what the Aquarian age is about, and that's living more in simplicity, living more with Mother Nature. We're coming back to the principles of nature again, which Psyche teaches the principles and the wisdoms of nature in our workshops, and have people balance. There's 33 goal balance statements that you can actually have in your subconscious mind that helps you be aligned and one with the wisdoms of nature. And one of her wisdoms is more is not always better.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
when would you say that shift to now we're in Aquarian age now, right? About when do you think that would have began?
Oh, well, I mean, technically, the Aquarian age was in the year 2000 because we now are shifting literally. The year 2000 was actually typically is the millennium, they call it, or the actual time. But because we live in a third dimension, the physical dimension, things go a little bit slower here than in the higher dimensions. And so with that, there was huge anchor points. 2012 was a huge anchor point. And actually, I'll back up. 1986 was another anchor point. This is all astrological, the things that has all been beautifully, we all design this in the highest creation of all of us that we are to experience this. Okay. So Aquarian, yes, 2000 was like the very, very beginning. And now we're going to be moving for 1,000 years, 2,000 years in these next, we're at the very beginning stages of living in a new way. And for many, that can be quite scary for people because the unknown can be very scary, especially because what we were in was in a bunch of distortions and we weren't anchored very well in our true essence of the love and the divine wisdom that we actually are. Okay. We created these self-identities of who we are. Like you're Steve, I'm Mary, you're a man, I'm a woman, right? You have a radio show, talk show, whatever. I help people birth their true essence, whatever. We give these identities of the things that we have, which are beautiful. And yet the gift is even in the Aquarian age, we're going to actually kind of lighten up on those two. We actually aren't all of these things. We're just literally like in a movie. We create like a movie for our lives. And we are the directors, the writers, the actors, all of it. We're all of it. We're all of it. So let's start writing the life that we want to live. And when it comes down to that, do what matters the most. And like for you and your daughter, realizing, wow, we can just live in new ways, maybe live in a more simple house or more community based. We're going to be moving back into communities again, bringing our communities together, sharing our gifts in new ways, living in harmony with nature.
That being said, it almost feels like an exciting time. And from what you just said, the time period is a large one. So, it's a blip for 20 years to where we are now, since it's such a large block of time of the, call it the Aquarian age. I had no idea that you ran deeper into astrology. Is that part of your thing?
Oh, no, I just love learning things. So I love my role here, who I am for my essence is meant to bring maybe more complex things in and then help weave them together so they can work well together and then bring them in simplicity. So there's things like Psyche is just the big anchor point that I'm meant to work with right now with people because it's one of the fastest ways to make changes within ourselves. And I like efficiency and I like let's just get done with the crap and like what's really going on. And are you ready to change it? All right, let's change it. Boom. And then whammo.
Yeah.
Right. And then all the rest, astrology, human design system. There's many other systems that are beautiful things to work together with, to help us understand who we really are and, what we're really choosing to experience here. We're here to experience. That's why we're in the third dimension. We get the five senses. It's like amazing. Like this, I have a coffee and it's so delicious, right?
Mm-hmm. Got my salsa water, and
yes,
it's not, but you know what? I enjoy it.
exactly.
It's good.
And
It's
that's
okay.
everything. And I have my mushrooms. I have different saga and turkey tail and lion's mane. It's like the gift is this would be a big question people can ask themselves. Are you living your joy? Are you living the love of who you are? Most people are not. Most people are doing what they're told to do. Go get a good job, go make a good income, which is all awesome. My husband does that. He's an engineer and I love him. He and I are compliments for each other, but he doesn't give himself a whole lot of time to enjoy life very much. He's beginning to, little bits at a time. I do majority of the time. Like I would say probably 95% of my life is in my love and my joy and my bliss. And I have been able to create what I do for a living is who I am. It's the gifts that I easily share. Same with you too. Your gifts are so easy to share, Steve, is in your voice, and also in your loving to bring great ideas in that people can start to play with and discover. It's a gift. So then it's not work. It's play. I'm playing with you here.
Yeah,
I love to play. Isn't this awesome?
I love learning and talking and being with people.
Yeah.
And that's and it's funny because I've been doing broadcasting forever, since I was 17. And there was at one point where I jumped out and I said, you know what, I want to help people. I want to do something more community connected. So I was looking for jobs as external marketing director of a hospital and things like that. And then maybe 4 months later, it's just like, duh, what you were doing is just what you said you wanted to do, but I didn't realize it at the time. And I got back into it, and like 20 years later, still doing it since then. But yeah, you just feel your purpose, and I guess when it comes easy, that's what you should be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and the gift is that you stepped out to try something else, which is still beautiful. It's good to try other things, and that helped you realize, you know what, I really liked what I did.
Yeah.
So you probably came back into it at a whole nother level of appreciation, which is so beautiful, right?
And all of these podcasts are all connected to the metaphysical world. I was doing that in another form 12 years ago ish, a little bit more than that, and had no idea when it ended that I'd be doing it again. So it's you never know, the life path, how it's going to take you. With Psych-K, how long does it typically take? Now, we said it's more immediate than a lot of other modalities.
Sure.
Is it multiple sessions? How does it work?
Yeah, thank you for that. So with having private sessions, so there's two ways with Psych-K. One is to have private sessions with a facilitator, and that's when you're ready. It could be you're ready for a tune-up. You might need a tune-up. Let's say things are going, decently pretty good with your life, but you still feel like you get frustrated too much. That's what I did. I definitely got frustrated a lot. Or you just you don't like situations that keep repeating themselves and you're not able to break out of that same pattern. Those are beautiful to bring Psych-K in for, because you actually have the answer within you, and you're going to access the wisdom within you, and then turn it around to end those patterns, and then create a new pattern in a higher level of consciousness within yourself. So then go live in that new way. So someone like that, they maybe one session might be help them identify, maybe they're at a crossroad and they don't know which way to go. And they feel blind, they feel hesitant to know, oh man, I could do this or I could do this, but I don't know. You're scared, you're nervous. Psych-K is awesome for that, because then you're going to actually address what you're afraid of losing, maybe being able to trust the choices you make, letting your heart lead you instead of just your mind or what everyone else told you you're supposed to do. Boom. And the next thing you know, you step out and the path you're on is the path your heart is desiring, which is awesome. And it helps you move forward again. For other people, it might be 6 sessions. This woman, during the last 2 years of the nuttiness, she ended up developing quite quickly 4th stage breast cancer. And her friend had come to one of my workshops who learned Psych-K, and told her, connect with Mary. And so she reached out to me within a couple of days of getting that diagnosis. And she actually when she got the diagnosis with the medical health system, they only gave her palliative care treatment. They thought she was so far gone, they couldn't even help her, which is actually the gift.
Wow.
And so she connected with me, and within 5 months, she self-healed her whole body, cleaned the whole thing up. Oh, heck yeah. In 5 one-hour sessions. So, and she was ready. She was ready, and she knew it. She knew she wanted to do it this fast after she did all the healing. She reflected back, yeah, this is how she works. She loves to have things really extreme and then really cascade.
So you've said a couple of things that really resonate with me. And I always say this, in that our subconscious has the answers. We have the answers within us. You said that before, and I'm a firm believer in that, but you need to tap that, but you can't do it alone. There's no way. You can't bring that out of your subconscious. Not easily anyway, for sure.
Right.
And the same thing with the power to heal yourself. It's all up in here. So once you tap into that, that's amazing that you were able to do that for that woman.
Yeah, thank you. Well, and it's actually her superconscious mind. So it's actually your superconscious mind that has all the answers, has everything. Your subconscious mind is the recorder of what your beliefs are, or where your limitations are, or what you're really running at the moment. So it's actually the power is in you is accessing your superconscious mind, which is your divinity. It's your oneness with all creation, God source, however you want to describe it. And we are that essence. We are the ray of light from the sun, from God source, from all. We just agree to forget that. And then when we agree to forget that as newborn babies being separate from everybody else, then we got all of our mom and dad's beliefs and their fears and all of their limitations and all of their beliefs that they got from their parents and for thousands of years in the Pisces age that they've all been in. And we came to be born in a time at the end of that to then burst just like a seed into the new Aquarian age of who our true essence is. The key is to release and let go of those old programs and insert the new programs that your superconscious mind has for you, and to go into your subconscious mind and edit and delete the ones that don't serve you anymore, that keep you separate and keep you limited, and then insert the ones that know that you are magnificent, you are love, you can create anything, you are creator of your world by your heart's desires. Insert those things that you can forgive easily. Whatever anyone does for you, they're just doing it because they don't know what they're doing either. None of us do. We're all figuring it out here.
Well, there's truth in that, without a doubt. I'm intrigued, with another minute or two left.
Sure.
Super conscious mind. Is that something you really have control over, or is that the universe, or call it source, whatever you believe in?
Oh, see, that's a very sweet question, Steve. Thank you for asking. It's whatever you believe. Most of us were born in religions. I was, and I was thankful for it, and I'm grateful for it. And then I have also grown through it into more of being in a mystical state. So I was taught that it is separate from me, that the superconscious mind is this God outside of me. And I actually had the belief it was like this old man in a cloud somewhere up in the heavens, right? That was just what I received. When that was probably what I created, and I was probably told that. And that it's separate from me, and then he's going to kind of decide, and everything comes from him. And why is he a he? That was the biggest question I had. What about the mother God? Like, why did they take that out? Why did they create only a father God? What the heck is that about, right? Okay, this is funny. So
these are
we get
questions
to change
a lot
these
of us ask.
questions, right? So this is the biggest part about reality. The angel of reality has been playing with me, so I'm going to have the angel of reality speak through me. Sound good? Okay. Because the unconditional love and acceptance angels and freedom angels is also here too. So the reality is because we live in the third dimension, we agree on this gorgeous, beautiful earth to have our own free will choice to decide whatever we want to believe. And then we go live that. So this is a question each one of us who's listening today gets to answer for themselves. And then begin to question everything you were told. That's the biggest question you can do. And see how that fits with you. And for some people, it's important for them to believe a God is outside of them, like your superconscious mind is outside of you. That's just where they believe until they're ready to change it. And then once you recognize, oh my goodness, superconscious mind is me. I am. You are, Steve, your superconscious mind. You actually have a superconscious mind. You have access to all information of all knowingness across the whole universe of everything. Oh, what? Most people are afraid of that, afraid to even know that. It's actually the precious gift ever, because and you can bring it into simplicity. I'll just and meditation can help. People can do meditation to access these aspects of yourself. Breath work is beautiful. There's plant medicines that help with this. There's many things on the planet that do help with this. Psyche just helps you work very quickly in a very simple way and a fast way to, yes, connect with your superconscious mind within you, and then make those changes at the subconscious mind that's all upside down and distorted up right into what your superconscious mind knows is true about you, which means you are love and you are radiant and you are the most precious thing here on this planet. And what you offer is exactly what is necessary, needed, and to just sit in that. Yeah.
Mary, do you still believe that there is call it a God or something within your world?
Oh, absolutely. I call the God source. I've been playing with words and stuff, right? Because even words can kind of distort stuff. Is that Mother God? I love the Mother God, Father God combination. So I call source. I just call divine source consciousness is how I bring it in. Yes, because there's complete order in the universe. The universe is magnificent, this universe, and everything is in divine purpose. Everything is divine order. It's just not in our temperate. I was one who was very impatient. So I did not like the fact that things take a long time here on Earth to do. I like to speed things up. That's my nature.
Yeah,
so
I call it the Amazon effect. One button.
Yes.
Click, done.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And the whole point is we're meant to experience things. So that's where my feminine nature, the feminine nature is your slower side of you. The masculine nature is your faster side of you. Okay. The masculine part of us, we have both within us. We are both masculine and feminine, okay, energies.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, we are human, which means it says we're separate from our divinity, is what we were born into. Now we're connecting it. So no, we are actually divine. When Psyche helps greatly with this. You are a divine, masculine, feminine energy that decided to be human in a physical realm. And that's the big game changer, when you recognize you are divine. Masculine, feminine, divine here. And then you chose to be a man. I chose to be a woman. So yes, we do have preferences. I prefer to be more feminine. And I do have a lot of masculine within me. My masculine stands up very strong within me. And I've had to work and do the wounded healing within both of those within us. We have wounds that have happened within both our masculine, feminine energies within us. And Psyche helps greatly with that.
I was just going to ask you that. If
Huge.
Wow.
Huge. And then it's actually this, instead of being everything that happened outside of us, what's happening, like the war, whatever the media is trying to show and do, is to help bring in, to find out what is the war going on within us. What is that war still going on within us? Because once our war within us returns back to peace, the outside world will also do the same. And we are doing it really fast here. So it's going to all fall hopefully within the next couple of months, which is really nice, because there's a lot of us doing a lot of internal work right now. The most important thing we can do right now is our internal work to return to the peace within ourselves. And that's that forgiveness gateway, and that bringing back the masculine, feminine back to a dance again, into a delightful dance, instead of, ignoring each other, beating each other up,
I think I truly believe that what you just said, we're more spiritual, more connected to ourselves. We have a lot to go, and even energy healing and things like Psyche. Somebody wants to reach out to you. How do they do that?
Oh, thank you. It's easy. Go to my website. So Ignite and Heal Your Life, LIFE.com. So Ignite and Heal Your Life, LIFE.com, and then click contact us, and you can send me an email. That's the easiest way. And then I will be happy to hear from you. And I'll set up a time so if you want to have a phone conversation where I can answer your questions and see if it's a right fit for you. This is important to find out.
Yeah, this is new territory for a lot of us, myself included. Again, I said it when we opened up here that I didn't know anything about Psyche until I met you. I didn't know it existed, but I knew that, about energy healing and other modalities. So this is a great one, and one that gets it done quick. And it's almost like a one tool fits all. Like it does a lot in terms of moving your life forward. Mary, great talking with you today.
Oh, what a joy. What a joy. Thank you for having me on again. I know this is such a
and
joy.
The age of Aquarius, I am going to be thinking deep about that now, because I had no idea. We're 20 years in the making and then some, but like you said, it's a slow roll to get there.
Yeah, well, and it's just a decision. Now that you've opened up to it, you're going to see it more, that life's meant to be easy and be in the flow and wonder and play, and then invite yourself to live in that way now.
Looking forward to talking to you again next time.
Me too. Have
Thank
a
you.
beautiful day, Steve.
You too. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.